just hit the like button and share this video to your friends, to your colleagues, so that maximum number of our bankers can join with us in this session. Okay, so if you're just new on the Officers Adda 247, just subscribe the channel so that you can get regular update and the important videos that related to your examination, right? And if you have not downloaded the Adda 247 application, download, because by this you actually get everything at a one place, right? So let's start today's session. And before to start, there is also one update from our side, that our target batch is started. There is only one class that we just taken in the yesterday. So in this batch, you are going to get the 3 Macmillan books if you are just enrolling in the batch with the books. And this is this is a very great deal you are getting, and at a very convenient price. And with this, you are going to get the 84 mock test, 82 ebooks, as well as a 130 hours live classes where you can directly interact with us. The main feature of this batch, which I just want to tell you, that whatever you are going to get, that will be fully exam oriented. Okay, so when we talk about the fully exam oriented, that means we always focus on the quality content. Like, okay, because if I say there are so many chapters, like if and you have to read that, and in every chapter there are so many pages, right? And there are some very important things we usually skip, and we are just able to recognize that this is an important thing, and that's why we are here for you, right? So this is also a very convenient price. Like, you only have to use the code Y422, and with this you are going to get the big discount on every batches of the JAIIB and CAIIB, right? So just remember this code. You just do not need to pay the full amount, right? So you only have to use the code Y422. Just try one time, and you are the main thing that you are going to get from this batch, which I just personally feel that you are just going to get the discipline, like discipline in study. Okay, so this classes actually started from yesterday, so I'm just hoping that everyone just going to enroll in this batch. So don't miss out this golden chance. You are getting the flat 77% off, and just price rise alert this is. So let's start today's session. And the first question, that is a long-term assets without any physical existence but possessing a value are called. Just quickly tell me what would be the answer of this. After that, I will explain you what would be the answer of this. Just tell me what would be the answer of this. Like, long-term assets without any physical existence but possessing a value. What we understand by the long-term assets and without any physical existence. Okay, just understand one of the concept here. If I'm just talking about, like, if I'm talking about the Adda 247. Okay, Adda 247 is what? Adda 247 is a brand, right? And brand is actually considered as an asset for any company. Okay, so whenever we talk about, like, any kind of the brand, any kind of your logo, okay, any kind of the trademark, what it is called, that is long-term assets without any physical existence, that is actually known as a intangible assets for any company, for any business, for any organizations. That means without any physical existence, where we understand when we talk about, like, any asset with a physical existence, that actually understand as a tangible asset. Okay, and when we talk about, like, without any physical existence, then then it is called the intangible asset. And this is a very important thing you are going to understand. Okay, so long-term assets without any physical existence, that is actually known as a intangible asset, which is the correct answer of this question. I'm hoping that everyone just understood this. Now just understand the next concept here, the debts which are to be repaid within a short period. Okay, within a short period. Just understand one important thing I would like to tell you here. Whenever you are getting, we are going to understand, like, current ratios, in the ratio analysis, current ratios, quick ratios, and there you are going to understand a very important concept, that what the meaning of this, like, within a short period. Whenever we talk about the short period, we usually consider in accounting that is within a 1 year. Okay, and whenever we called the long period, that means after 1 year, right? So the debts which are to be repaid within a short period are year or less. Okay, we can understand within a short period, it is a year or less than the 1 year. So this is just known as a within a short period. So the debts which are to be repaid within a short period are referred to what? So now just tell me what would be the answer of this, and I just want everyone should participate in this question answer session. Okay, so just tell me what will be the answer of this. And the multiple options are current liabilities, fixed liabilities, contingent liabilities, and all of the above. There are, the debt. Whenever we called about the debt, and suppose it another option that could be the current asset. Okay, so you have to just consider the one thing here: the debt always be a liability for any company. Okay, so whenever we talk about the debt, that means that is actually considered as a liability for any company, any business, any organization. Okay, and whenever we talk about it is within a short period, that means it is known as your current liabilities. Okay, so whenever we talk about the current liabilities, that is usually considered as the liabilities that are to be repaid within a short period. And short period, what we understand by the short period, that usually just that usually a year or less than the 1 year, that the range of this short period. I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this concept. And I would also like to say, just hit the like button as well. Okay, because this is the early morning and we all are just working hard for like your preparation. So just hit the like button and share this video to your friends, to your colleagues, so that maximum number of our bankers can join with us in this beautiful session. So now just let's understand the another question. And this is a very wonderful question, because the same type of the questions you are going to get in the examination. So you have to understand this question with a very well way. And I just want everyone should participate in this question. Okay, because this trial balance is a very important chapter. And if you just skip this, like I just want to tell you that in like on the Sunday I have taken the session for the trial balance, where I actually describe all the basics of the trial balance. So just quickly tell me what would be the answer of this. I just want everyone should participate in this. So just tell me the very first thing that you have to understand, like whenever we talk about the trial balance, what is the trial balance and why we make the trial balance. Okay, whenever we talk about the trial balance, the purpose of the trial balance, that every debit balance should be equal to the credit balance, right? Okay, now if we talk about like what components we have to keep under the debit side and what components we have to keep under the credit side, so what we have to do, then then definitely we should know that like what components we actually keep under the debit side, right? So if we talk about like if we're talking about the trial balance under the debit side, we usually keep the assets and just tell me expenses. Very nice attempt. You guys when participate, it actually encourages our our increases are just you can also say that it actually appreciates us. So assets and expenses we actually keep under the debit side, and the liabilities and incomes, any kind of the gains, where you usually keep under the credit side. All right. So when we talk about like an amount of the 500 that received as an interest on investment has been posted to the debit of the interest account. Now just tell me one thing here, that if I'm talking about an amount of the 500 that received as an interest on the investment, that means what this line means. It line means that this is actually the your what? This is actually your gain. Very nice. This is actually your gains. And whenever we talk about the gain, where we have to keep this gain, that in the under the credit side, right? So now just tell me one thing here, and I just want here that just understand this is debit side and this is the credit side. As we all know that this is a debit and this is a credit. All right. So now if I say that like this 500 should be posted where, this 500 should be posted here. All right, this 500 should be posted here. This is a correct entry. But what exactly happened? Just tell me what exactly happened. We actually amount of the 500 that is received as an interest, we actually debited the debit of the interest account. All right, but we have to credit the interest account, but we actually just debit that. So that's why what we are just understanding here, that means this 500 is actually goes under this debit side. Okay, that means this entry has been wrongly posted. Okay, so now if we're talking about like the total of the debit side of the trial balance, that is 80,000 rupees showing. Now just first tell me what the principle of the trial balance, that every debit balance should be equal to the credit balance. All right, Now if I'm talking about what should be the credit balance, when this entry, like the total of the debit side of the trial balance, that is showing the 80,000 rupees. So if I'm talking about the, if an amount that is received as interest or investment has been posted to the debit of the interest account, so the total of the debit side of the trial balance, that is showing the 80,000 rupees. So that means here is, it is actually considered as 80,000 rupees. Now for this, like for just rectifying this kind of the error, we have to, what we have to do, the first we have to nullify this error. Okay, so when we talk about that, we have to nullify this error. So actually we have to credit the 500 rupees on the credit side. Now again, we, what we have to do, or like what we want that this 500 should be under the credit side. Okay, now that means again we have to credit the 500, isn't it not? Okay, that means again we have to credit the 500 rupees here. That means the total, if I say, that would be the 1,000 rupees, that goes under the credit side. All right, that means what should be the credit balance here, that is 81,000 rupees, and the same should be on the debit balance, because the debit balance should be equal to the credit balance. So the correct answer of this, that is C. Okay, I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this. Now just move on the next question, that is a discount received are. So just tell me, because in the yesterday session actually we understood that what is a discount allowed and what is a discount received, and I'm hoping that everyone just understanding this. Just tell me quickly that what is the answer of this, like discount received are. When we talk about the discount allowed, discount received, what we understand by this and where we have to keep that. Okay, that is a very important thing that actually I described you, that what is a discount received and what is a discount allowed. So just quickly tell me what would be the answer of this question. When we talk about like discount received are, okay, so that means the multiple options are given here, like buyer of the goods granted discount by the seller, deducted when we receive cash, given by us when we sell goods on the credit. Okay, so just my dear friend, just tell me what would be the answer of this. That is a correct answer, that is A, that is buyer of the goods granted discount by the seller. Because when we talk about the discount received, and there is a one important concept I would like to tell behind this, because it sounds simple question for you, okay, but the concept behind this is a very important for any typical type of the questions you are going to get in the examination. So if I'm talking about like how to consider, like how to treat the discount received and discount allowed. Okay, like if I'm talking about the question where we have to just put the like discount received and discount allowed under the trial balance, where we have to make the debit and credit entry. So where we exactly have to just keep the discount received and discount allowed under which debit and under which credit, right? So discount received usually considered as a type of the as a type of the gain, right? And if we are talking about like if we are talking about like we actually receive the discount, that means we actually have to give the 150 rupees, but by the seller actually we receive the discount of the 50 rupees. That means we now have to give only the 100 rupees. That's it. Okay, that means it is kind of what, it is a kind of the gain for us. And it is, if it is a kind of the gain for us, so just tell me, if I am just ask if I ask you that discount received should be under the debit side or credit side, so what should be your answer? That is discount received on the credit side under the trial balance. That is a very important thing. Okay, and based on that you are going to get definitely questions in the examination. Okay, after that I'm just asking you that discount allowed. If you're allowing the discount to anyone, suppose that you this is the buyer and this is a seller, and seller you are, okay, and you just have to just get the amount from the buyer, that is suppose at 200 rupees, but you actually you're allowing the discount. That means now suppose that you are allowing the discount to the customer like 100 rupees. That means now you are receiving 100 rupees from the customer. That means it is kind of the loss for you, where you are going to get the 200, instead of that you are getting the 100 rupees only. That means 100 rupees, that is considered as a loss. Okay, but it is not exactly a loss. I am just showing you, or I am just explaining you a trick to understand. Okay, it is a trick to understand. It is nothing kind of any profit, it is nothing kind of the any loss. I am only showing a trick, like where you have to understand, like discount received under the debit or credit. So this is only the thing I am just explaining you. So discount allowed always considered as a kind of the expenses loss. That's why it would comes under the debit side. This is a very important concept I just explained you. Okay. Now just read the another question. If we take goods for own use, we should. This, and this is a favorite question for any kind of the examiner. Okay, because this question may be asked like in any way. Like suppose that this question may be asked like if proprietor just withdrawing the money from his firm, okay, or from his firm's account. And it may be also like if a proprietor is just withdrawing the sum, like if I say that is goods of the amount. So that where we have to use like what account we should debit and what account we should credit, because this is a matter of the owner also. So like which account should be debited and which account should be credited, this is a very important thing to understand. And you have to understand, whenever any kind, or say whenever any proprietor, or say whenever any owner withdrawing from his firm, okay, suppose that he is the owner of the XYZ limited. So whenever we are talking about like owner is withdrawing the money from the XYZ limited company, and this company is actually belongs to this owner, so always there is a one account would come into the picture, that would be the drawing account. And that is a very important thing I would like to tell you. Okay, so drawing account would come into the always would come into the picture. Okay, so whenever you always have to understand that drawing account should be the debited and purchase account should be the credit. That is a very important thing I actually explained you, and the only thing that you have to understand for this. Okay, so whenever I am just whenever we are just understanding the if any proprietor, if any owner just withdrawing the money, or say withdrawing the some goods of the like something amount, so what account should be the debit and what account should be the credit. So you have to understand that drawing account should be debited while purchase account should be credited. This is a very important concept for this question. Okay, I'm hoping that everyone just understood this. Okay, so now just read another question, that is if the trial balance totals do not agree, so the difference must be entered in. So what I just whenever we talk about the trial balance, so what we understand about this, that every debit balance should be equal to the credit balance. All right, and suppose that by mistake you did mistake in posting the debit, or say you did mistake in recording the transaction under the credit side. So now what we have to do now, because you do not have a much, you can also understand you do not have a pretty much time for just rectifying this error in the same, or and we can also understand for recognizing the error. So for that what we have to do, we actually just entered that transaction into the suspense account. Okay, and after after that, suppose that if any mistake you just recognize, so for rectifying this there is some time requirement also. So for that we actually, whatever the differences that is that recognized by you, that must be entered in the your suspense account. So this is a very important concept I would like to tell you here. Okay, so if the trial balance totals do not agree, so the difference must be entered in the your suspense account. This is a very important concept, right? So this is of your the correct answer of this, that is a suspense account. All right, next. If you just watching this session like before to 10 to 15 days, okay, so now I think accounting standard, like I just make the lot of the questions I actually prepared you for the accounting standard, and I'm hoping that everyone just memorize the accounting standard as well, like some of the accounting standards like everyone memorized. So like just tell me related party disclosure. Whenever we talk about like any company, there is a term also, that is the related party. That means the one party, or say control of the one party to the another party, that actually denotes the control of the one party to the another party, whether in terms of the transactions also. Okay, so that is actually known as a related party disclosure. Like every companies, there is some kind of the rule set of the rules and principles for this related party disclosures, and that is actually considered, that is actually defined under the section of the accounting standard 18. So the correct answer, that is the accounting standard 18, that is related to your related party disclosure. Okay, now just tell me, now I just want everyone should answer me, that is accounting standard 3, that relates to accounting standard 3. Just tell me, my dear friend, that is accounting standard 3, just relate to what that is related to. That is correct, that is a cash flow statement. That is relates to the cash flow statement. Okay, just tell me accounting standard 10. Quickly tell me accounting standard 10. Yes, that is the fixed asset. Very nice, very nice. Okay, right. So this is all about your accounting standard. Now just read another question. Which of these best explains fixed asset? Tell me which of these best explains the fixed asset. Just first try to just understand by your side. After that I will explain you, and this is a very important thing that I always that I always explain you. Which of these best explains the fixed asset? So the multiple options are given, like are bought to be used in the business, are expensive items bought for the business, are items which will not wear out quickly, okay, are of the long life, and are not purchased specifically for the resale. So what would be the answer? Whenever we talk about the fixed asset what? Fixed asset usually considered as a long term period. Okay. And we always purchase the fixed asset, not for, like we often say that it is not specifically purchased for the selling purpose. Okay. So it is not for the sale also, for the, or say it is not for the resale also. Okay, so this is a very important thing you have to understand, that which of these best explains a fixed asset. So fixed asset is usually considered like as the assets that usually for the long period, and that is not specifically purchased for the sale resale. Okay, so this explains the fixed asset. Okay, and if I just ask you what we understand by the current assets. So current asset, those assets you can understand the what is the current asset. Those assets by which you can easily convert into the cash within a 1 year. That is known as a current asset. Okay, within a 1 year. So current asset, that is you can understand. Now just tell me, and the examples of the current asset, that is a cash, okay, inventory, stock, that all are considered as a current asset, right? Now tell me, sales invoices are first entered in. Sales invoices are first entered in. When we talk about the journal, what we understand by the journal? Journal is a type of the, or say journal is a special type of the book where the first time transaction is going to be recorded. That is known as a journal. All right. So whenever we talk about the sale invoices are first time the entered in where, so the answer that should be the sales journal. Okay, so sales invoices are first entered in the sales journal. That would be your answer of this question. Okay, next question. Patents, copyrights, and trademarks are. Tell me the answer of this question also. Patents, copyrights, and trademarks are the. Multiple options are given, like current assets, fixed asset, intangible assets, investments. So what would be the answer of this question? Look, whenever we talk about the patents, copyrights, and trademarks, that is the correct answer. That would be your intangible asset. Okay. So whenever we talk about the patents, copyright, and trademarks, that all belongs to the company's assets, and that all would be placed under the category of the intangible asset. And this is a very important thing. I am hoping that everyone just understand. Look, whenever we talk about the assets, there are some asset which is known as the current asset, and there are some asset those we can understand that is a non-current asset. Current asset, like within a short period, for the 1 year, or less than 1 year, and non-current asset always considered as a long term period, like after that 1 year. Okay. Next, in the current asset, we also going to understand in the next, in the upcoming lectures of the module C, like what is a quick asset. So quick asset, like those you can, like those assets you can convert into cash very easy. Like as soon as you want, you can convert into cash. Like how we can understand that? Suppose that we are talking about the cash. Cash is a quick asset. Okay. If I talk about like inventory, so inventory is not your quick asset. Inventory is only considered as your current asset. Okay. It is why, because there are some part of the stocks always would be into a factory, like that you cannot no that you cannot sell, like as you just do not find any time the purchaser for that stock. So that's why inventory is considered as a current asset, not the quick asset. Okay. But when we talk about the cash, your debtors, also you can also say that is account receivables. Okay. So that understandable as a current asset, so that understandable as a current asset as well as a quick asset. Okay. So inventory and prepaid expenses, that is not the quick asset, as a, otherwise all the assets that other than the fixed asset and the non current assets, that we considered as a current asset. Okay. So this is a very important thing. I am hoping that everyone just understood in this session. So now again, I just want to tell you that just enroll in the batches, and I just want to tell you that this is only the one time investment you are going to do. And because from the next sessions, like JAIIB examination syllabus is going to be updated, so this is a situation of the now and never. And hit the like button and share this video to your friends, to your to your friends, colleagues, so that maximum number of your bankers can join with us and subscribe the channel, so that you can get regular update from our side. So thank you for everyone joining in this session here. Now we will meet on the tomorrow at the same time. Do not forget to join me at regularly at the 7 a.m.